Hi and welcome to my Ahsoka Tano Headpiece tutorial, where I'm gonna show you how I made this beauty. Before we're gonna start, I'll suggest that you start out with making a pattern so you know how it'll look on you. I didn't do that before I started working on it, and that's a mistake that I've ended up regretting a lot. So I'm starting out with building a mold out of clay. If you have a way of making it out of lighter material than mold, I'll suggest you do that, but I only have clay, so I'm working with that. This is just regular clay that has to dry overnight, and I'm slowly building it up piece by piece, and I'm using my finger to smooth it out so it has a nice smooth skin-like texture. As you can see, this process does take some time and patience, but I promise you it's gonna be worth it. And just keep on smoothing out with your fingers, or if you have a tool, use that, so it has like this. So it looks pretty at the end. It has a pretty smooth. Also, I am using measurements while working on this. I measured it before I started, both its length and its thickness, and while working on it I kept on measuring to make sure it will look right at the end while I'm wearing it. If you started out with making a pattern, you might not have to do this, but it might be smart to do it anyway. And once you're done with this one, you just move on to the back piece and to the main headpiece. I didn't really film that because that will make this tutorial really long, but also because I started filming this video in the middle of my process working with this, because I was requested to make a video tutorial a lot of times, so that's what I did. But I was already in the middle of the process, that's why you don't see it straight from start, if that makes sense. This is what they both look like when I'm completely done building, and this is what they're done look like after I've left them dry overnight. I then start filling in the cracks with some more clay, and after that I am gonna put wood glue on top of that. I found out later on it's smarter to put wood glue on right after you build them, and then afterwards fill in the cracks. But I didn't know that at this time, so here I am, working with my mistakes. As you can see here, I am covering them in wood glue, and I put on thick layers, and I make sure the wood glue go in and fill all small cracks I have, as well as it will help smooth out the surface. Besides that, it will make the latex peel off like pure magic. Okay, so guys, so far I've showed you how to make the legumes and the pieces that goes down here, which are the legumes. But so far you haven't seen the headpiece that goes onto the top here, and that's because I made it before I started filming this video. And this is how it looks. I will suggest you build on top of a live cast of your head, but if you're like me and you don't have one, a weight head is perfectly fine. You just need something to outweigh the top so it doesn't constantly fall. And just like the others, I built this with regular clay, and I just built on top until I was satisfied with how it looked. I kept a reference picture by the side to make sure it constantly looked like Ahsoka's do. and then I just build and put layers of wood glue on top. And while with the others I put 3 to 5 layers of wood glue on, I put around 5 to 7 layers of wood glue on this to make it completely smooth and skin-like texture like Ahsoka has. As you can see, I made the side here first, so it will fit perfectly together with this one. So when both pieces are done, I'm gonna blend them together, and it's gonna be one total organic piece. And although I've only made one of these, I am gonna midway through the progress take the first 15 layers of latex off this and then start building again on this. And I've built a bit extra around here because it's easier to cut off the latex at the sides than to blend out more latex once it's off. And in the back here, I have made it as thick as possible because it's quite thick holocu back here. And just try to make it go out so it will fit my neck and back stuff here. And again, so it will fit together with this one, so it will look natural in its size and in its piece. So now that I've done all of this, it's time to put a latex on it. And while I only put around 15 to 20 layers on this, I put 20 to 25 layers on this because it's need to be more stable and hold better than these do. So let's jump to the latex. Okay, so that was awkward talk with me 101. So using latex and cheap disposable sponges, I start layering latex as evenly as possible on all the molds. I am using latex from something. They only ship to Scandinavia, so if you're not from Scandinavia you can buy it, but it's quite cheap and quite quality if anyone from Scandinavia is needed. So for this part you need to make sure your mold doesn't touch the ground so the latex can drip off while drying. Also, if you want to, you can use a hairdryer to quicken up the process of making the latex dry. Once I'm completely done layering them with latex, I put powder all over the pieces and slowly pull them off of the mold. Then I fill them with teddy filling. I make sure to be very careful as I pull them off so I don't misshape or break the latex. And as you can see, I just slowly loosen the edges before I pulled it off, and this is a sped up process. I very slowly, very carefully pull it off. I wouldn't have anything to happen to the latex. reach the horns part, you want to be extra careful because you don't want them to poke through the latex or misshape the latex, but at the same time you want them to get out. Once I got all the pieces, I used a sharp hobby knife to cut off the dripping forms the latex has made. I then after that use super glue to carefully glue all the pieces together. And you want to be really careful on this step because once they are glued together you can't separate them. So make sure that where you're gonna glue is where you want it. I didn't show you the entire process of gluing them all together because this will make this tutorial way too long, but this is what it looked like when all the parts are glued together. So now that it's all glued together, you might notice that we have some annoying edges that we want to get rid of. And to do that, you put a small layer of latex on the edge, then you roll small pieces of thin toilet paper and use that as a bridge against the edge. After that, you go back and forth with the latex and the paper until you're completely satisfied with how it looks. Make sure the edges on the paper are ripped to give it a more smooth blend. And yeah, as I just said, just keep going back and forth until you're satisfied and think it's really smooth. You can also use this technique to cover up any part that doesn't cover your hairline, just make sure you have a plastic bag underneath so the latex will peel right off after that. Okay. Okay, once I got all the edges blended out, I'm completely satisfied with how I look. I blend acrylic paint and latex together and slowly start painting the headpiece till I'm satisfied with how it looks. Camera died at this point, so I don't really have more to show you, but this is how it looked like once I was done. I just used spirit gum to put the headpiece on, and it's quite flexible, allowing me to move my head however I wanted to. And if you have any question, please ask in the comment down below and I'll do my best to answer what I can. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you another day.